All right, I'm Chris Adina with American Outdoor News. I'm here with another episode of the American Outdoor News podcast with Mike Fuljenz from the Universal Coin at the Safari Club International show. Mike, thanks for taking the time to speak to
Hey,
us.
thanks for me have up here in this wonderful suite overlooking the Safari Club International bourse floor.
So, Universal Coin, how did that start?
Well, 31 years ago, I got together with a couple partners, and we founded it in Beaumont, Texas, with 5 employees. We now have over 120 employees,
Wow,
and we've done 2.6 billion in sales to 500,000 people over the last 31 years.
that's something.
Yeah.
And you deal mainly not just coins; it's met.
Yeah, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, mostly gold and silver, and rare coins. And we also, over the years with my staff, we've taught the courses nationally for the American Numismatic Association, for the Numismatic Crime Information Center on how to detect counterfeits and how to appraise coins. We've been the instructors for decades on that.
Wow, so you're the foremost authority.
Well, the Texas Attorney General thought that because I wrote consumer protection report for him and for the FTC.
So now with the way the economy is going, normally the metals have an adverse effect to the economy.
They generally go up when the dollar goes down, and the dollar dropped 10% last year. But gold went up far more because central banks, like those of China, are buying far more than they did 3-4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
In 2022, the Wall Street Journal said basically gold is dead. It's no longer a safe haven. People do Bitcoin and other things. And boy, were they wrong. It's tripled since they said that.
Yeah, it's really taken off, especially over the past 2 years.
Well, not just that. I mean, you'll hear on CNBC or in the Wall Street Journal or other papers that gold is, something that goes up when inflation hits and we need low interest rates. It's a supply and demand matter. And people in India can buy ETFs for the first time this year. And boy, have they been buying. Same in China with real estate down. Around the world, ETF buying's greatly. And the refiners can't keep up with refining for bars of silver and gold. It's just amazing.
So is the price increase or the demand really come down to the supply and demand?
It's more that and safe haven and just results. More people than I've ever seen are putting into IRAs. That's true diversification. The World Gold Council said you should have at least 15% up to 25% in gold or silver in your IRA. And since 2000, gold has more than quadrupled the Dow and S&P.
Yes.
Since 2022, it's quadrupled the Dow and S&P. Last year, so this isn't just a one-off or a unicorn.
Yep.
When something's done it for 25 years and then each major period of the last 5 years, this is a long-term thing, not a short-term that you'll see people say it's a volatile market and it's volatile. It's not more volatile than a lot of stocks are.
Yeah.
And you know what about gold? They don't replace it with something else. The Dow, the S&P, the Dow stocks, the 30 stocks, if a stock's not doing well, they put a new horse in the race. Gold can't swap out for silver and platinum. So the Dow is kind of tweaked with a new Husky put in there or a new Clydesdale if one's not performing.
Sure.
That's not fair. If you run a mile against another guy, he doesn't get to put another runner in halfway through.
No.
But that's what they do to gold.
So what is the difference in trading between gold and silver?
Well, there's a little bigger premium on silver, and silver's heavy. I always tell people to say, I want some survival silver. I said, you may not survive it. It's so heavy and takes up so much space to store. I like some silver, but gold's more portable. You have more compact wealth. When the hurricanes hit in Beaumont, Texas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana, along the Gulf Coast, I could grab a tube of 1-ounce gold coins and trade it in at coin shops where I knew people and get full value and take care of my employees and my needs when Chase Bank could not give me money in my account for 2 weeks. And then I was limited for the next 2 weeks to $500 a day. So it's good emergency money. It's good mad money for some.
Sure. So here's a question for you. The usefulness of silver, doesn't that exceed the usefulness of gold?
Yes, 2 different types of metal. One, gold is kept since like 500 BC as a sign of wealth, more so than silver. Silver is more of an industrial metal that is not as much used in jewelry. It is, but not as much. It's the best conductor on the planet, far better than copper. It's in AI, and all the growing needs of AI needs lots of silver. It's in solar panels. You think of any machinery, anything that needs conductivity of electricity, you need silver. And industrial demand for silver is outpaced supply by a large margin the last 5 years in a row. So in China, just announced a month ago, they are cutting off a lot of the supply of their silver, and they're one of the largest refiners in the world, the largest refiner in the world. They're cutting off a large spot for 2 years to the world, which sent silver speculation way high. They put new margin rules and borrowing rules in COMEX and Shanghai, which to curb some of this. So there's been wild jumps. Silver got up over $100, back down in the 70s. Gold got to 5,500. Now it's right around 5,000, popping up or down. But when I collaborated with Steve Forbes at a conference in the fall of 2023, October, gold was around $1,800. We both thought it would go to 2,600. It did. The next year we thought 3,500. It did. And I believe gold will hit this year at least 6,500 to 7. And it's not just me. JP Morgan Chase says they believe gold will get to 6,300 this year. Wow. You should own some gold, having different stocks in true diversification. You need gold. You need some CDs in the bank. You need maybe your home, some real estate. But true diversification has 15 to 25% of your IRA and your investments in gold-related investments.
So as a new investor, how should somebody position themselves in metals versus equities?
Buy the book and the guides before you buy the coins. Get educated. 80% of the counterfeits in this country are coming in from China. You'll find them all over online, Facebook, Alibaba, even eBay and other places. Counterfeits, Interpol says, is the largest criminal enterprise in the world because if you get caught, the penalty is not as high as drugs or other things.
Yeah.
So pastor's wife come in, and who sells counterfeits to a holy man online? He dies, and all the silver coins were counterfeit.
Wow.
You can't buy silver below spot. It's a scam ad, or it's right now you can get some 90% old silver coins below the spot value, but you can't get them melted and they're trading below. But generally, if it's a below spot ad for 3.9 or 4.9 pure silver, it's a scam. It's coming in from China online. Mm-hmm. You got to know your dealer. Are they award winning from major organizations in the industry? How long they've been in business? A+ BBB. These are all things I wrote in the Attorney General's Guide for Consumer Protection and helped the Post Office and the FTC when I helped with their guides. I wrote the one for the Attorney General. But you got to know your dealer because you got to make sure they're not counterfeits. I have the machines in my office that are expensive. I have the experience teaching counterfeit detection for 20 years. No matter how good you think you're doing, you got to know who you're doing it with.
So the paper demand for metals far exceeds the physical.
Yeah, ETFs are supposed to keep the gold to back up the exchange traded fund paper gold that is bought.
But that's never the case.
Do they or do they not? It's kind of like Fort Knox. But I know from 10 years ago, someone who was there that I trust, the gold's in Fort Knox. The right question is not is there gold in Fort Knox? Is all the gold in Fort Knox is the right question?
No.
But the bottom line is ETFs are a different way to hold gold. But you know what? I like having something you can physically put your hands on and have. Now, don't keep it at home. I interviewed FBI, Secret Service, police in our area. And one of the things they stressed is if you're going to keep a safe at home or store your gold at home or your valuables, the first place robbers do on the clock is master bedroom and bathroom. Keep it in another room in a secluded area, maybe a closet in a guest bedroom or somewhere else in basement, somewhere where it's hard to distinguish it's a safe, but don't keep your valuables in your master bedroom and bathroom. First place they go. And, that's an important tip from law enforcement. We have police on premises 24/7. I lease space at the Beaumont Police Department. And as soon as they moved into my office building, a donut shop built across the street. You can't make that up. mayor of a city right outside Boston when the Boston Marathon bombing occurred, came to Beaumont, spoke at a charity fundraiser. He said when the Boston Marathon bombing occurred, they caught him in a boat with the tar pulled over right outside of Boston. He said, you know what? We closed down all the businesses in Boston, but Dunkin' Donuts, because we ran on Dunkin'. They do.
It'll always be a constant.
It will always be a thing, and we proved it with a donut shop opening right across from our police substation.
So here's a hypothetical. Spot month is about to expire. Everybody says, I'm taking delivery. What happens?
I think they'll be hard pressed to deliver. And I think people know that too. It's got to be an orderly market right now. We're all having to wait for some payment from reputable dealers because they can't get open all the packages. And you can't train people to inventory and open all the people buying and selling that you got to buy for and people selling. It's just the volume of business for dealers is just out of sorts with the staffing right now because new people are getting involved, and that's good. And then there's one more kicker this year. This is the 250th anniversary in the country.
Yes, it is.
Now say after me, semi-quincentennial. You ready?
Semi-quincentennial.
Now, if you say it 3 times, Beetlejuice will appear. Okay? So semi-quincentennial is the official term for the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. We are making a new $2.50 gold piece for that. We hadn't had one since 1929. The new mint director is a friend of mine. We served on the National Coin and Bullion Association board for 12 years. He's from Louisiana, where I'm from originally, although my business is just across the state line in Beaumont, Texas. But Paul Hollis just got sworn in. Mike Johnson and him, the Speaker of the House, have been friends since junior high.
Yeah.
And so Paul is coming in with a lot of ideas for new coinage and new twists on our bullion products. With the 250th anniversary, it's going to stimulate like state quarters did. And the bicentennial was part of stimulating a rare coin and bullion boom from 76 to 80 because of all the new people who came in because of the bicentennial having bicentennial themes on the back of quarters circulate.
I remember.
And then bullion prices.
What is that?
Remember this word. It's like when you learn to spell Wednesday in first grade, Wednesday, semi-quincentennial. It's going to put on steroids the coin and precious metal market this year, one of the major factors.
That's great. All right. That's what to definitely look into.
And you learned a new word.
I did. And I'm going to have to write it down and memorize it.
It's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
So here's a question for you. I've seen you, we're here at these Safari Club International Convention. I've seen you at the NRA convention.
Right.
I've seen you at DSC.
So you're saying I'm older than dirt?
No, I'm saying, why this industry?
Why this industry? First of all, we support the Second Amendment, which is very important to this industry. Without the Second Amendment, this wouldn't be happening.
Yep.
And it protects the First Amendment and all the other amendments and the Constitution. So, second, because we're the official coin and bullion dealer of the NRA, we have been very involved in supporting the Second Amendment and the NRA, which supports the Second Amendment, and gun safety and law enforcement and kids' safety with guns. We sponsor Eddie Eagle programs for that. So we're very involved with that and hunting. And most of my top salesmen have headed up the local NRA chapters and are involved in shooting. Most people don't know that in the South, we have days off in a number of the school districts on Fridays during deer hunting seasons because they do put 10-hour days and then a day off for hunting. And what they don't realize is we have shoots for heart, Alzheimer's, you name the charity. We just don't have golf events. We have shooting events for charity. That's part of friends of mine in San Francisco. You do that? Yeah, we do that. And it's a sport. And you know what? It's good our soldiers learn to shoot from a young age.
Absolutely.
And maybe have a BB gun when they're 7 years old because you want good marksmen in the military. You don't learn to be a basketball player starting at 18. You don't learn to be a good marksman by not shooting before you get to 18.
It's appreciating skill.
So we appreciate every vendor in this thing who deals in this area. And we always say there are 3 precious metals of freedom: gold, silver, and lead. We handle the first 2 and we leave lead to everybody else in there. And Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So we stand with Meatloaf.
100%.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate everything that you do for the industry and the whole way of life. And thank you for educating us on gold and silver markets and why somebody should be investing at this point in their lives. We'll speak to you again soon. Hit that subscribe button. If you're not at the SCI convention, definitely come down and take a look.
Thank you for supporting outdoors. Get people off the iPads and the cell phones and everything and enjoy the outdoor life. Thank you for spreading the gospel of outdoor life.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Good deal.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.